Hi, this is Macnab-Stark from The Art of Screenwriting. A question I often get asked is, what does it take to become a professional screenwriter? Now, I'm not writing for Hollywood and I'm not earning $1 million a script, but I do make a living as a screenwriter and it is a great job. And there are certain things that you can do that will increase your chances of getting paid work and perhaps making a career out of this. The first thing I would say to people is that you have to write. I know that may sound really obvious, but I talk to a lot of people who want to be writers, have an ambition to be a writer, but they very rarely actually write. If you aspire to be a writer, if you want to be a professional screenwriter, you've got to find a way to write every day. If not every day, most days. I know people have the day job, they've got a family, they've got commitments, they've got other things, but if it's important enough to you, you need to find time to write. 30 minutes a day, an hour a day, whatever it is that you can do, find a way to write. One of the beauties of screenplays is that compared to, for example, a novel, they're quite short. A 100-page screenplay, 110-page screenplay, if you write a page a day, you can write 3 screenplays in a year. So you have to find the discipline to sit down and write on a regular basis. Another thing that's really important is you've got to learn the business. Again, many screenwriters don't understand, or aspiring screenwriters, don't understand the business. They don't understand what it takes to get a good script, get it into people's hands, how that process works. They don't know what an option is. They don't know the technical terms. If you want to be a part of this business, learn how the business works. Learn what producers are looking for. You can provide value for them, then they're interested in talking to you. So you need to learn the business, learn what your market is. A third issue is about excellence and about striving for excellence. Again, the reality is, as a beginning screenwriter, you are competing with established people. If somebody has 2 screenplays to look at, one of them comes from a pro who's had half a dozen films shot, and the other one comes from somebody, it's their first screenplay, they're naturally going to look at theirs first and give that screenplay more consideration than yours. What does that mean? It means your screenplay has to really stand out because you're competing not just with all the other beginners, you're also competing with people who have been there and done that. That means you have to aspire to excellence. You can't expect to write one screenplay, give it a quick rewrite, send it off to a few people and wait for Hollywood to come find you. It doesn't work that way. You've got to write screenplay after screenplay after screenplay. You've got to make sure each one is the best that it can be, get feedback on it, do rewrites on it, figure out what genre you're going to write in, understand what people are looking for in that genre, and make your screenplays stand out. Aspire to excellence. Finally, I would say you need to have a little bit of faith. Many people, I look on blogs and forums, and it's amazing how many people who have never sold a screenplay, who have never worked in the business, will tell you that everyone's a shark and everyone's out to rip you off and you can't send your stuff to people because they'll steal it and plagiarize it. Does that happen? I guess it does happen. But it's that percentage of the business. If you want to be a part of this business, you've got to have a little faith. You've got to send your work out to people. Sure, register it with the WGA. That's just common sense. But you've got to send your stories out to people, and you've got to trust that it's easier for them to take, if they like the idea, to take your completed screenplay than it is for them to rip the idea off and rewrite it themselves. So have a little faith, send your stuff out there. And ultimately, I guess, one of the biggest things that served me well is that I don't quit. If you want to succeed in this business, you've just got to keep going. So this is Don Macnab-Stark from The Art of Screenwriting. Please drop by the website, www.theartofscreenwriting.com, sign up for the free newsletter, and keep writing. Thanks.